Hey guys, so Ashes of Creation may have a very big problem on its hands, and I'm going to be raising my concerns about its PvP systems, as it has been made clear that you will be involved in PvP and gankable regardless if you want it or not. The official term being used is PvX, which put super shortly is a combination of both PvP and PvE. Now a little bit of background is, in spite of Final Fantasy XIV being my main MMO for the past decade, my opinion comes from playing a ton of other MMORPGs and other games like League of Legends and Overwatch. Obviously, I'm playing a bunch of other games in the background like World of Warcraft. I'm currently prepping for Dragonflight. Preservation Evoker looks like the healer that I'm going to main, even though I'm a little worried about Devastation, but I guess my point is I'm not just like a FF Andy, as like commenters might say. So why am I doing this video, and why am I deciding to make a video right now on it? Well, because I care is why I'm doing it. I genuinely care. Ashes of Creation is a game that I have been incredibly excited and invested into for quite literally years. I have definitely been more emotionally invested than I probably should be, and I did put my money where my mouth is back then years ago, and so I'd like to start talking about it because I know that I'm going to be playing it, and it's something that has been on my mind a lot lately. I've been mentioning it way too much in Discord, and people are like, okay, just talk about it. Ashes of Creation, there's so much that I could say. I've loved so much that I've heard and seen about this game, from the housing to the mounts, the beauty of the environments. I'm actually already sold that I'm making a Tulnar Necromancer from the Summoner main class and dipping my toes into the Cleric for that. Necromancer, it's just looking perfect. And I know, me as a Scholar main, what a shock. For anyone who's been on this channel and this isn't your first video, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, Scholar. Shocking. But there's obviously other things that I'm very confident that I'll play the heck of everything that I've boxed in right here. Enough of that though, back to PvP. And I have been myself that open world PvP menace before when I was a teenager, and now I'm an adult. I can say that I was an irritating, horrible nightmare. I could probably find hundreds of old forum posts, and I exaggerate not, that I remember too many of them far too well. I loved playing games like Ion Online, Conquer 2.0, RF Online. There were like so many private servers and just other games over the years, and really what I derived the most joy from at that age was the pure purpose of spawn camping lobbies, griefing them, messing with their farming, just destroying them. And I remember I'd be like, oh, poor guys, what do you mean you can't leave the spawn because they have extra stealth and more mobility? And I'd really use higher item level gear and being a higher level character in general and just pick them off. I just found it funny when people would complain in the chats, and I just smashed them into the ground over and over again. Frankly, it was just me being sadistic. In fact, I remember distinctly that I was trying to leverage any and every advantage that I possibly could. And I can tell you that it wasn't me looking for a challenge, because I typically move from different point to different point if anyone who was even remotely a challenge showed up, and I just waste their time intentionally. It's like, okay, you want to defend this spawn? You go do that, buddy, for 2 hours. I'm gonna be over here. Point being, I know the appeal. I was that sadistic nightmare 13-year-old that you heard about. I'm very glad that I'm now an adult. I was not nice. So now let's talk about why that's a problem. The problem is most players I know, most people I know, because that's who's on the other side of the screen, and I realize I'm in Final Fantasy XIV a lot these days. It's my main MMO, it's what I make videos on this channel, but this does definitely include most World of Warcraft players too. I do not know any that really are like, yeah, when I'm going to this Mythic Plus dungeon, I want the absolute yanked out of me. They don't want to deal with this. They don't want to deal with some sadistic evil little child like I was, ruining potentially hours of grinding. Like, the gathering system in Ashes looks absolutely amazing. I love their latest update. Like, even like how Steven was talking about how the canopy of the tree like folded in, I was like, that is actually freaking amazing, and the sound is just bliss. But I do see many people doing literally hours of that gathering and enjoying it and partaking in the game economy, contributing to your server. But if a ganker is coming in and messing that up constantly, they will drive people away from the game. Absolutely, I am not exaggerating either. I personally achieved, I might want to choose a different word, I might want to reframe that. At the time, I felt like it was a major achievement, a major win, of driving people to quit the game and write massive I quit X game posts on forums, and a lot of those people never did come back. That was probably, at the time, the highlight. That's like, oh, I really did my job well. Obviously, That's not the best thing. Now, I should be super clear here. I am absolutely not by any means advocating for the complete removal of PvP. That would be stupid, and I'd never want to see that taken away, because for a lot of people, they want that, and I don't think that that would be fair at all. I also don't think that having across all the servers flagging PvP on or off should be put onto all the servers. I feel like that system would take away from those PvP servers and that experience. I feel, to be blunt, the incredible majority of servers should not deviate from the intended PvX system. Instead, what I'm proposing, and I strongly feel this way, is that a set of PvE servers, like 1 or 2 even, should be implemented that have PvP to be turned on or off with flags. So you could have the option to delve into it, but it is a toggleable feature on only these set PvE servers, the 2 of them. And when I said I strongly feel that way, I'm literally making a YouTube video on it out of the complete blue. Most of my subscribers are not going to even click it. They're going to be like, what the hell, this is not going to do good clicks. But I'm making this video because I care so much, and I'm hoping that I can get the word out. It's just at present, and I really did mull this over, because I mean, I could have made a video like a week ago when people were like all like in a kerfuffle about it. At present, I just can't see it playing out great for the incredible majority of people that I speak with, that I interact with on a day-to-day basis. World of Warcraft raiders and Mythic Plus runners want to suddenly deal with ganking when they're trying to set up for raid? Are you kidding me? Absolutely they don't. Same with Final Fantasy XIV raiders. As one of those, if there is something that takes away my time from raiding with my static or preparing for that raid, I'd be pretty frustrated, to say the least. Especially because I am a working adult as well as everyone in my raid team, so it's like those set hours that we set for raid every week, if someone messes with that, I'll be pissed. And I'm not exaggerating, I would actually be livid. I don't think that's unfair to say, because it's just like, okay, I'm a working adult, I have 3 set raid nights, I do this many hours a week, I look forward to them, I plan for them, it works with my work schedule, it works with every other obligation I have. I'd be pissed. Let's talk about something that I know probably would never surface in Ashes of Creation if it was purely PvP for every server. Final Fantasy XIV has what is called hunt trains, where we take on a ton of extremely strong open world monsters that have been tracked down by scouts and conductors of the train that aim an incredibly massive assembly of people all looking for a ton of loot on that hunt train, which then also evolves into S ranks, which are also extremely lucrative. In fact, hunt trains, I've made videos about how they are extremely profitable on this channel. I love them. I love the people that set it up, that work, that scout on it. Gilgamesh hunt trains are incredibly consistent and always on time. It's actually a marvel that the community came together in such a way, but that would not in any dimension be possible on a PvP server. Yes, we have early pullers, and I'm gonna admit, we all want to jump on them and smash them and make it so that they don't get their rewards. That would be one big perk of a PvP server, but practically speaking, I don't think hunt trains would ever have formed to even be a thing that I was talking about if PvP, open world PvP, was a thing. Scouts would scout them out and probably just knock them out with a very small amount of people. If I'm frank about it, and this isn't something I even really want to say, but I'm going to be really honest here, I wouldn't even be on Gilgamesh if PvP floodgates were open. I'd want to be on the lowest population server that I possibly could be. I really would. And that cycles to what I said before. If I'm farming housing materials to build stuff for hours, the entire idea that someone could mess with me during all of that, or worse yet, make me lose hours of that work, makes my blood boil at the thought. Now, obviously, to be completely fair, there are systems that are there to punish people who grief and gank, but the problem is people always will look for loopholes and tiny gotchas in the cracks. That's sure what I did years ago. I can see this very much seriously driving people away and making a far worse experience for everyone involved than it could be, other than the sadistic person just griefing who doesn't care about the health of the game or the server and is just like kind of wrecking it for everyone else. So I say let the majority of servers be PvP, no optional flags, raw open world PvP. Let that be the majority, but give us like 1 or 2 PvE servers, because I guarantee you that's where I will end up if they are a thing. I'm going to close with this. If the idea of 1 or 2 PvE servers scares people who want to gank lobbies and outgear people, my question is, why? Is PvP that much of a turnoff to people that they would all flood the PvE servers, that the PvP servers would be barren? Well, if that was the case, that is actions and not words, but actions stating people don't want to get ganked, which with everything I've said doesn't seem that illogical. And if some people being afraid of not being able to grief others they're already honestly indicating that they know that people don't want to deal with that, and that's why they're saying the comments they are.